Guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. If you've tried to bulk in the past and ended up fat or frustrated, keep watching this video as I'm going to save you months of time. Today I'm going to break down the 5 keys to building muscle without gaining all the extra body fat with it. Guys, I've coached over hundreds of men, as you can see here, who have all built a load of muscle and lost a load of body fat. But today I want to focus specifically on one client. I've spoke about him before, but I think it's really valuable to bring him up again to show how you can do a perfect cut and bulk. Now, anyone that knows me and knows my coaching systems know I like to get people lean first. I'm big on lean gaining phases, but sometimes some people just want a good old fashioned cut and bulk or bulk and cut. And I want to go over the 5 key things that you have to do to get it right. Otherwise, you're going to get too fat. The fatter you get, the longer you've got to diet. The longer you've got to diet, the more muscle you're going to lose, and you're going to end up back at square one. So get it right from the start. Hopefully you can copy this exact framework, and the next time you bulk, you can have great success without gaining all the unwanted body fat that these stupid, dirty bulks tend to give us. Now remember guys, I'm coming to you from a place of experience. I've done many bulks and cuts in my time, and I've screwed a lot of them up. But over the last 5 years, I've worked with so many clients, and I've worked with so many men especially, and I've managed to nail it, okay? As you can see, you look at me now, you think, God, he's kind of well proportioned, he's got a decent amount of muscle. I'm not huge anymore, but I'm very, very lean. But it's because I did this stuff right to build the muscle to then be able to maintain a lean physique in the first place. But I want to focus on my client, Ricky, here. Now, Ricky, this is 83 kilos to 83 kilos in 1 year. And as you can see, it looks like there's a full recon, but there's a lot that went into it behind the scenes. Look at that picture, guys. You're only really 1 year away from a completely different physique. But so many of you guys that watch this have been training for 5, 6, 7 years, and you look like you've never even been to a gym. You've never made any progress. Why don't you actually just do it right for a year and watch what happens? The amount of calls I get on and messages I get where people say to me, yeah, you know, I've been on and off for 10 years, and then they'll send me their picture, and I'm like, 10 years? 10 years? You don't even look like you've ever trained before. Just stop bullshitting yourselves and do it right. And this is how it's done. Key number 1, okay? You have to be lean to begin with. You cannot go into a gaining phase if you are not lean. How can you be fat and then go into a surplus and get fatter? How does that work? We all know the guy that trains and he's always on a bulk and he just looks so fat and he has to wear an oversized t-shirt. He's always sweating and he looks terrible. Don't be that guy, okay? The goal is to be lean, to have muscle all the time, all right? You cannot go into a gaining phase if you're fat. Look in the mirror, what do you see? Look at me. I have abs. That means I am ready to go into a gaining phase. Now, I'm not saying you have to be shredded to the bone to go into a muscle building phase, but you need to be lean. So look at yourself in the mirror. If you are overweight or you're fat, it's okay. I'm not slating you. Pull yourself into a deficit. Start training. Start tracking your calories. Watch one of my 100 videos on how to lose body fat and start to pull yourself down. Guys, you want to be seeing the top 4 kind of abs, outline of your abs before you start driving calories up, okay? Key number 1 is you have to be lean-ish to go into a gaining phase. That rules out 80% of you watching this video. If you think, like, let's be honest, if you look in the mirror and you think, well, I've got too much body fat, my friend, a bulk's probably not right for you. If you have a lot of body fat and you diet down for 8 to 10 weeks or 12 weeks, you will build muscle if you're training properly. Again, watch some of my videos on training because you've got so much stored energy on your body. You can recomp, you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time. If you're a beginner, you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time. There's so many people that can do it. Obviously, if you're very, 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 very overweight, you need to pull yourself down into a deficit. So that is key number 1. And if you look at Ricky's start pictures, Ricky was okay. Ricky had training experience. He trained before. He didn't look amazing, but he was not in a bad position. And he also said to me, you have 1 year. And he gave me a year with him. So I thought, right, I know I can push this guy into a long gaining phase, even if maybe he's not 100% ready, because I know I've got him for a year and I know I can have a longer fat loss phase. But we pulled a little bit of body fat off him to get him into a decent position. And this was his start position, okay? Now, key number 2, calories come up slowly. They don't go crazy. Dirty bulks are forbidden, highly illegal, okay? Dirty bulks don't exist. They're stupid, don't do them, okay? It's like a 10 out of 10 girl. It doesn't exist, a unicorn, right? you need a small steady surplus, 200 to 300 calories above your maintenance, gaining half a kilo per week maximum. If you're gaining 2.5 kilos a week, what do you think is going to happen after 6 months? How much muscle do you think you can build in 12 weeks? Not a crazy amount. You need longer bulks, okay? So you need a long runway. So we're thinking, right, so if you look at Ricky here, 83 kilos, I didn't say to him, right, bulk in, 5,000 calories, serious mass shakes, Ben & Jerry, like, no. I said, right, you can maintain your weight on 2,500 calories. Let's sit at 2,700 calories and let's start creeping up. Let's focus on training with proper intensity, nailing your recovery, nailing your sleep, and getting stronger over time at the movements that build muscle, not a single arm cable curl, you know, a fucking chin up, a big incline press, a deadlift off the floor, a heavy weighted lunge, yeah, a big shoulder press. These are the movements that build muscle. You start your surplus nice and slow, you build up over time. The longer you can stay in the surplus, the more muscle you can build. You're not going to build a lot of muscle in 12 weeks. If you go 12-week bulk, 12-week cut, 12-week bulk, 12-week cut, you look the same after 6 months. I have seen it. That's more than 6 months. That's a year, but you get the point. And remember, guys, you start slow. So let's say Ricky was at about 2,500 calories. We went to 20, I think it was 2,750. And then you sit there for a couple of weeks, you're assessing your body weight, Eventually you stall. Okay, we've stalled. Right, now let's go 2,850, maybe 2,950, maybe 3,000. I think him and I did 250 calorie jumps, and then we changed it to like 150 calorie jumps because appetite becomes a problem for a lot of people. But 2,500 to 2,750 to 3,000 is a big old surplus. And that took months and months to get to that point. We took him up well over 90 kilos, okay? And we did it in 8 months. That's not much weight, is it? 83 to I think it was 91, so it's 8 kilos in 8 months. Think about how slow that is. But guys, it was mostly muscle. This is what people don't understand. It was mostly muscle, which is why when he dieted down, he looked like that at 83 kilos. Key number 3, guys, is you kept cardio in, okay? It's very important to keep cardio in. We need to stay cardiovascular fit. When calories get high, it really helps with your appetite. So if you have a post-workout meal, itchy foot. If you have a post-workout meal, okay, and then you go and do, so imagine he has a shake, 50 grams of protein, 100 grams of carbs, no fat, like I like to have. And then he went and did 15 minutes of steady state cardio or a 10-minute power walk. He's ready for his meal sooner. He digests his food better. So we kept cardio in and we actually started to increase it very slowly. So he's doing around 15 minutes post-workout 3 times a week, and he'd have his post-workout shake and then do his cardio. Train, post-workout shake, cardio. He wasn't having a post-workout shake because it is magic and it builds loads of muscle because just after you train, you're suddenly a muscle build machine. No, it was just convenient, easy in the gym, drink it, liquid, digest quicker, do some cardio, ready to have a solid meal when he gets home. Remember, guys, as well, if you're interested in coaching, I've literally helped hundreds of men like Ricky, and you can see all of the links below. I've got 3 different options for you guys, for the super serious guys to the guys that just want their hand held and a little bit of help there, okay? So check those links out. And what we did over time is we increased that cardio a little bit. So it'd become 20 minutes 3 times a week. And then what I'd do is I'd put 20 minutes of cardio in on a rest day because he was having 3 to 4 rest days a week. Sometimes, I think maybe he was on a 5-day split at one point as well, but he was on training maybe between 3, 4, sometimes 5 days a week, depending on his schedule. But on those days off, we added in cardio simply to help with his appetite, because those calories that started at 2,500 and went 2,750, 3,000, ended up at over 3,600. We went 3,250, then we were doing like 3,400, 3,500, 3,600, and I was kind of creeping him up to get him over that 90 kilo body weight. And because we did it so slow, his body composition wasn't that sloppy at 90 kilos. I'll put a picture here. Obviously, he's gained a lot of body fat and he doesn't look as big because that's what body fat does. Everyone keeps telling me how big I am. I'm 13 kilos smaller than I was 2 years ago. When you see me in person, I don't even look like I train. I've got to wear the tightest vest possible for these videos so I can trick you guys into thinking I'm big. Now, key number 4, another one that I see screwed up a lot. Don't program hop. You can cardio hop, but don't program hop, okay? He had 2 training plans across those years, a phase 1 and a phase 2. Yeah, phase 1 and a phase 2. We didn't change phase 1 to phase 2 because of the dieting phase. We did phase 1, we milked it as long as possible until he got bored, and then we went to a phase 2. I believe it was a 5-day plan down to a 4-day plan, because when you're trying to diet down as well, because that phase 2, obviously, although we didn't start in the dieting phase, it crept into the dieting phase. A 4-day plan or a 3-day plan in the dieting phase is perfect because there's less fatigue and all you're trying to do there is maintain muscle. Don't program hop, guys. The plan that built your muscle is going to be the plan that keeps your muscle, okay? So whatever you built in a gaining phase, whatever plan you were on, keep it the same for the deficit. It's going to keep it there. Don't change everything just because you dropped your calories down. That is a great way to lose muscle. Don't program hop, but you can cardio hop. But that, not in a gaining phase. You can change your cardio around to keep things interesting, of course, but training plans stay the same. And then key number 5, everyone knows me, knows I'm big on this, is have an after diet ready. Have a diet ready after the diet, okay? So after Ricky got to this great body composition here, 83 kilos, I'm obviously thinking, right, he's been dieting for 4 months, okay? He's bulked up 2,500 calories all the way up to 3,600. Then we started going 34, 32, 3,000, 2,800. Steps increase, cardio increase. Steps increase, cardio increase. A standard fat loss protocol that I won't go in this video, but obviously weight loss stools, you either increase output or decrease food. You speak on the individual. How do you feel? I feel pretty good with my food. I'm still not that, I'm still not even hungry. Great, let's decrease your food. A couple of weeks later, how do you feel? Yeah, I'm getting really hungry. Okay, let's increase cardio because if I decrease your food, it's a one-way ticket to falling off track. You've got to make it as seamless as possible for whoever's doing it, as easy to fit into their lifestyle. You do not starve someone to get down until you're right at the end, and obviously they're going to be hungry, okay? But having that after plan is so important. So he knew after he finished his diet, which was at around 2,400 calories, straight away it was right. Let's bump these calories up to maintenance. Let's pull your cardio down. Let's just sit here for a few weeks. Stabilize, everything gets ready. Let's bump those calories up, sit here for a few weeks. You don't just finish your cut in unbelievable shape and then say, right, I don't have to train anymore. I can eat whatever I want. I can go on holiday. You're going to gain body fat really quick. Anyone that comes on my coaching plan is taken through a serious recomp. There's muscle being built, there's fat being taken off, and then you're keeping it. You'll never find someone comment on these videos saying, well, I worked with Max, we got a great result, but I put it all back on because I was so unhealthy. I'm very conservative. What's the point of getting lean if you're just going to get fat again? I'd rather just stay fat. It's so depressing having to come back down. Like I said, guys, I've helped hundreds of people with this stuff. The links are below if you want me to help you. And if you want me to answer one of your questions, just leave a comment. I'm back to filming 3 times a week in lovely Dubai, and I'll see you guys in the next one.